is made.
But to reach out to blockchain startups about community.
Sorry. What's up, crypto peoples, crypto beast, and that's the crypto guy.
It's me.
In this episode, this is episode number 3. We're going to be discussing quite a few things actually. But before you watch this episode, if you haven't seen number 2, pretty good one. That crypto guy lost everything, and I think it's a really amazing learning curve for everybody. So if you haven't seen it, it's going to be up here, wherever we put it. In this video, we're going to be discussing our personal development, which I think is one of the most important things. You do need to develop as a professional, as an individual. You need to understand what to learn and how to learn it. Also going to be discussing how to make money in the industry. And this isn't going to be a video about get rich quick schemes, about how, you know, most people make money. We're going to be discussing a different route, more in the route of working, finding work within the industry, and helping the industry evolve. And also we're going to be starting an initiative which is going to be extremely exciting. So there's quite a lot to cover in this video.
And if this is your first time joining us, this is our series following my journey into the crypto industry, sharing my successes and failures into the industry, hoping you don't make some of the same mistakes.
Before we forget, we had some questions from our community in our last episode, so we really wanted to answer them basically. So first one came from G Genius, and it says, seems like long-term investments are old school coins like ADA and Lend, etc., which is very true to be honest. And I know those can't moon because their market cap is too high already. Am I understanding that correctly? Good question. And the way you need to see long-term investments, they're more stable investments, because these projects have been around for a while, or they're going to be around for a while. That's how we sort of invest in them, because if it's, let's say, a startup, you can't call it a long-term investment. So ADA, Lend, or Bitcoin even, those are long-term investments. Obviously, any coin can crash, but they are more stable than the short-term ones.
Absolutely. So on to the next comment from Reese Donovan. Hey guys, I have some money to invest. Should I do the long-term or short-term investment? So when it comes to investing short or long-term, it's risk and gains. Short-term investments have potential for higher gains in a shorter time frame, but much higher risk. And long-term investments can also have great gains, but across a longer space of time. But always remember, if you're going to invest any money, just be ready to lose it straight away, because you never know what can happen.
Always invest what you can lose, basically. Question number 3 came from Roscoe Coltrane. I think I'm reading it right. I hope so. And he asked, where do you guys invest most of your money, long-term or short-term? Now, personally, most of my crypto is held in the long term, because as we said, the long-term investments are more stable. And at the end of the day, the goal of the game is to get as much Satoshis, Bitcoin, or let's say Ethereum as you can. So the short-term investments, they'll come from time to time. As you can see in our last videos, some of them will flop. Some of them you lose money on, and sometimes you'll spend a bit of money, you know, to make some money. But really, your goal is to get those long-term investments, hold them, and just wait for them to rise.
As I started back from square one, and our goal is not to touch any fiat, I had to reach out to projects and figure out how I could bring value to them and help to develop them and grow myself as well.
Exactly, and I think that's the beauty of what we're doing in this whole video, is trying to show people how you can bring value to the industry and at the same time get paid for doing so.
Absolutely. The first thing I thought about is what skills can I bring to the industry, and with a good understanding of the English language, I started to reach out to blockchain startups and offer community management as well as content creation. After doing some research and speaking to some different projects, I discovered TokenSwap, and I realized that they don't really have any English content out there. And there's actually a position available for community manager. Well, I got in touch with the team through Telegram.
Yeah, so there wasn't a position available, but that crypto guy clearly saw that they needed his skills. They needed community management, and this is the point.
I created the position.
Exactly. That's the beauty of it. Any sales job, any sales individual you speak to, you'll hear that they'll say you can create.
Yeah, see what they're lacking and be like, hey, I can fill that gap.
Exactly, and this is what the point we're trying to make. There's so many cryptocurrencies companies out there, And they do need people with skills, and they just don't know how to reach out to them, maybe because of the English barrier, language barrier, or other barriers. So this is what he did, and at the end of the day, he was actually able to secure the job.
Got to make the first move.
Yeah.
So I do want to stress that I'm not trying to promote the project that I'm working alongside at the moment, but what I really want you to understand is how it's helped me to develop, because I'm working with a brand new project where there really isn't much content anywhere about it, and you have to somehow understand the complexity of these things and create the content for it from scratch.
And I think that's the most beautiful part, is because the client would ask him, write an article about this, tell people about DeFi, etc. And this is the beauty of doing a role so soon in your crypto journeys, that he's literally been thrown in the deep end and he has to learn so much quicker than he usually would. It's like that really famous quote by Richard Branson, and he says, I'm going to read it off the screen here: if someone offers you an amazing opportunity and you're not sure if you can do it, say yes and learn how to do it later. And that's beautiful. I personally feel like a lot of people fail in the blockchain industry specifically because they expect others to tell them what to invest in, how everything works, without actually doing their own research and homework. And most importantly, people don't really see that this is a new industry. So anyone listening to this video can find work with a little bit of effort.
As I've already mentioned, I think the best thing you can do is really think about your skills and how you can leverage them within the industry, and then do your research and look into some projects, put in a little bit of time, and it will pay back out.
Exactly, that's the key part. Learn about the blockchain industry and use your current skills, and you can bring value to projects out there.
Absolutely.
So enough is enough.
Done.
And today we want to urge everyone watching this video to take your own initiative. Stop asking for investment advice.
Please.
Stop depending on others for your success, and take your own initiative.
And to support this initiative, we're giving away $20 to 3 winners. All you have to do is share this video on your Twitter, tag us, and hashtag the Crypto Initiative.
And the winner will be revealed in our next episode. So make sure you comment with a link to your post, and you are subscribed to make sure you're updated as soon as you've won.
Ding. Now moving on to a new part in the series, we'll be giving you some of the most recent crypto news and our unbiased opinions on it. So, first thing we want to talk about is that Coinbase have actually launched a crypto card, and we think it's because it's an initiative to bring users back, because they've been working closely with the government recently. They've sort of alienated and pushed a lot of users away from the platform.
Yeah, as a lot of you know, the Coinbase CEO has been speaking directly with the US government and sort of allowing them to take users' information. And I think with crypto, that's what people hate the most. And Coinbase has lost millions, literally millions, of people who were holding on their wallet, who were using their wallets and their exchange, of course.
Yeah.
And what they're trying to do is get users back now. So obviously, launching the card is a huge thing. And what surprised us the most is that it launched in the USA first, which never happens. It's always Europe.
Very strange, because the laws are actually stricter there.
So what it shows us is that they are working with the US government and they're getting approval from them first. That's how ridiculous it is. So like, as you can see, Coinbase launched Coinbase Wallet, and I don't see the point of this. But really what they're doing is they're opening DeFi, dApps, etc. All the sort of competitive applications.
Yeah.
They're trying to expand their base basically and get the customers back. And I think it's a little bit too late. People in the crypto industry aren't as forgiving. So the second part of news is probably the biggest news in...
Massive.
Yeah, it's massive. So Axion, I'm sure all of you have been hearing about it. If you have an Axion as a competitor to Hex.
Hex2T is their token.
That's right. So they were going to mainnet. So they were going to launch the actual project, and everyone was able to exchange the Hex2T to Axion tokens.
But just before the mainnet launch, what appears to be a rug pull, but they're claiming isn't, everybody's lost their tokens and the value's gone shot all the way down.
Well, so what basically happened is that before they were going to launch, they had the team to deploy basically the launch.
Rock and Block.
Rock and Block, that's correct.
Development deployment team.
And what Rock and Block did, they hired a third-party developer to make this happen. And we'll put his name up here. And this is who they're basically blaming on this. And what he did is he created a backdoor just before the launch. So Axion did all the audits. They did everything right. This is what they're saying.
Swapped it at last minute.
He swapped it last minute. And what he was able to do is mint billions and billions of tokens, and then
Billions and billions.
billions and billions.
Billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and
and then dump them onto the market. So the price basically went to zero. There was an exploit, and everybody who was involved lost all their funding. So what they're doing right now, they're trying to relaunch, and this is the update as of far. They have blocked all messages, so you can't message in the Telegram group, but they've done a real statement. So anyone who's holding Axion will get the Axion back in 1-to-1 ratio. But what we noticed here as well, anyone who bought Axion after the exploit will get, for each Axion, they'll get 0.00025 per Axion. So that's pretty, I don't know if that's going to work, because in my opinion, what's going to happen is people will dump, because a lot of people did buy.
Well, right now, they're asking everyone to put liquidity into the liquidity pool, so when it relaunches, that they have a sufficient amount, and they also want the price to be as low as possible, so that I guess they can stretch that liquidity
This
out.
is the thing. But what they said in their initial statements is they said, we're going to provide the liquidity. So at the end of the day, there was only $500,000 worth of Axion minted, which isn't a lot. It was like 1,300 ETH.
As far as scams go.
As far as scams go, and as far as this project owns. So what I'm sort of thinking is that, why are you asking for funding? Why don't you provide that? So they're asking for more money after
everyone's already lost everything.
So this is where we're really cautious. I think a lot of people in the industry have lost their trust in it. Only time will tell. We will keep everyone updated on it, but this is the update at the moment. They're saying they're doing things, but people can't talk in the group. They're asking for more liquidity into the market. They're asking for more money, and the product's not even here. So
it's either a really tough time for them, or the best double scam ever.
Or the best one. They're saying, a lot of people have said Richard Hart was involved. They're saying it's not true. They've put out the name of the person. We'll leave all the details below. Make up your own mind. Let us know down below what you think as well. But let's move on to the third piece of news this week. The last piece of news we want to discuss is Bitcoin transaction fees. This is a really big indicator for bull run. So recently Bitcoin crossed $12,000, and it's already been rallying quite a lot. And the most important thing that you need to see is that most of the Bitcoin being bought on the market isn't being bought directly on exchanges.
Being bought over the counter.
Exactly,
OTC,
it's being bought directly from people to other people. As most of you have seen, recently there was a Bitcoin move worth $1.1 billion. We'll put it up on the screen now. And a lot of companies are actually stocking up on Bitcoin at the moment. And all of this, with the transaction fees of all the movements that you can see on the blockchain, is all leading up to a huge bull run, and hopefully
green lights,
an all-time high. Just to close off the video, we really want to say a big thank you to our community. This is a new series, and we've been already receiving some support. So it's just a thank you message at the end of the video.
Exactly. Thank you for following me through my journey into the crypto industry. It's great to be a part of it. And don't forget, #TheCryptoInitiative.
We'll see you on episode 4. All the best. There you go, mate.